food. Visiting day was Saturday. I showered and combed my hair and sat at a table in the visiting room, and every time the door opened, I jerked upright. Other kids' moms and girlfriends and brothers filed in and hugged them. An hour passed. The door stopped opening. The room emptied. A guard tapped my shoulder. "Nobody's coming, kid. Back to your unit." The humiliation burned so hot my face went red. I shoved back from the table so hard the chair flipped, and I stormed back to my bunk and punched my pillow until the seam split. One letter from Drew, 3 sentences. "Holding it down for you, bro. Everyone says hi. Miss you." I pinned it to the wall and read it so many times the paper went soft. I called Drew from the facility phone and he didn't pick up. I called again. Voicemail. I left a message. "Drew, pick up the phone. I'm in here for you." I called my girlfriend. She picked up and sounded far away. "Things are just really busy." I could hear music in the background and a laugh that sounded like Drew's, and she said she had to go, and the line went dead, and I was so sick with dread, I slammed the phone into the receiver so hard the cradle cracked. My mom visited. She sat across from me, and she looked like she'd aged 5 years. She reached across and held my hands and wouldn't look at me. "What?" She pulled out her phone and slid it across the table. A video. I pressed play, and my hands started shaking so hard, I dropped the phone on the table. Drew at a house party, my jacket on his back, my girlfriend under his arm, my teammates around him. He was standing on a table doing an impression of someone, and everyone was laughing, and the camera panned to my girlfriend, and she was leaning into his chest, wiping tears from laughing, and he leaned down and kissed the top of her head, and the room cheered. He was doing my celebration, the one I did after every touchdown. Arms out, spin, point at the crowd. He'd stolen that too. I shoved the phone across the table so hard it almost went off the edge. "When was this?" "2 weeks after your hearing." She pressed her hands flat on the table. "A parent sent it to me. He's been telling everyone you were violent, that you attacked someone at the party, and he was scared of you." I slammed my fist on the table and the guard flinched. "He said he'd protect my scholarship." "Baby," she squeezed my hands. "He went to coach with your recommendation letters. He used them to apply for your spot. He has your scholarship." I shoved back so hard the chair tipped and the guard stepped toward us. I grabbed the table edge and pulled myself back and pressed my forehead against the metal and closed my eyes because Drew had used my own letters to steal my future. A kid from my school got transferred in. He told me Drew had been telling everyone I was dangerous, that I snapped at the party, that he'd been scared of me for years, that he needed a restraining order. I counted the days on the wall next to my bed, scratched them in with a pen cap. Every mark was one day closer to making Drew answer for what he did. Release day. My mom was in the parking lot. Nobody else came. I shoved through the gate and the sun hit my face, and my mom sprinted across the parking lot and crashed into me, and I could feel how much weight she'd lost. She drove me home. I drove to school, and my hands were strangling the steering wheel. I shoved through the front doors, and the hallway went quiet. A girl I'd known since middle school crossed to the other side when she saw me. My old lab partner grabbed his bag and walked the other direction. I passed my English teacher and said good morning, and she flinched and looked at the floor. I turned the corner toward the cafeteria and stopped dead. My lunch table, Drew in the center, my jacket on his back, my girlfriend next to him, my teammates around him laughing. He had taken everything, and I was so furious, I kicked the cafeteria door open so hard it cracked against the wall. I shoved through the cafeteria doors and walked straight to the table, and every step felt like concrete. The table went silent. My girlfriend pulled her head off Drew's shoulder, and her face went pale. Drew looked up at me, and his face was blank. "Oh, hey man, good to see you. How was it?" "My scholarship." "Dude, you were gone. Coach had to fill it. You used my recommendation letters." He shrugged. "Things happen. You said you'd go to coach. You said you'd fix everything. And it is." He leaned back and spread his arms across the bench. "I'm here, aren't I?" He picked up his drink and took a long sip and smiled at me like I was a stranger asking for directions. Every person at that table dropped their eyes except Drew. I set my tray down and turned and shoved through the cafeteria doors and bit the inside of my cheek until I tasted copper. I went to Coach's office. He leaned back in his chair. Drew came to me with strong letters and a clean record. The scholarship was reassigned. I gripped the arms of the chair. Those were my letters. I wrote those essays. That was my scholarship. I understand how you feel, but the deadline for reinstatement is end of this week. You'd need Drew to withdraw his application, and I'd need proof the original recommendation was yours. I gripped the arms of the chair so hard my knuckles cracked. That will never happen. Then I'm sorry. He stood up, and I could see the plaque on his desk with Drew's name already engraved on it. 1 week. Drew's ceremony was Friday. The whole school would be there to watch him accept the scholarship he stole from me. I found my girlfriend at her locker. She slammed it shut when she saw me coming. "Don't. Just listen to me for 30 seconds. Drew told me what you did. You attacked someone. You're dangerous. He lied. He threw that kid through the window and I took the blame because he begged me." She shook her head and backed away. "That's That's not what he said. Of course it's not what he said. He took my scholarship and my girlfriend and told everyone I'm a monster, and you believed him." She turned and walked away, and I slammed my fist into the locker next to me so hard the metal caved in, and everyone in the hallway jumped. My old lab partner was at his locker. I walked up to him. "You know me. You've known me for 3 years. Does any of this sound like me?" He wouldn't look at me. "Drew said you threatened him with a knife." "I have never held a knife in my life. I don't know what to believe, man." "Drew showed us screenshots. He showed us texts where you said you wanted to hurt people. He faked those." "I don't know that." He closed his locker and walked away, and I kicked the locker next to his so hard the metal dented, and everyone in the hallway flinched. I ate lunch alone at a table by the trash cans, and the loneliness was so sharp it pressed down on me like a physical weight. Drew's scholarship ceremony was Friday, 3 days away. The whole school would be there. Coach would hand him the plaque with my name scratched off and his written on. I ripped my phone off the nightstand and pulled up every screenshot from the night of the party. Drew's texts begging me, "Take the blame. I will owe you forever. I'll keep everything warm. I swear on my life." And then I remembered something. The party. Dozens of people with their phones out. Someone had been filming. I spent 2 days tracking down every person who was at that party. I called everyone in my contacts. Most wouldn't talk to me. 3 hung up the second they heard my name. I drove to the house where the party was and knocked on the door, and the kid who lived there opened it and said, "Drew told me you'd come. I don't have anything for you," and shut it in my face. One kid said he had a Snapchat video of the whole night, but he deleted it. Dead end. I threw my phone across the room so hard it bounced off the wall and the screen cracked. I didn't have the video. I threw myself backward on the bed and held the cracked phone above my face. 3 days until the ceremony. 3 days until he walked across a stage and accepted my future with my name scratched off the plaque. An idea hit me so hard I stood up. I didn't need the video. Drew just needed to think I had it. His own fear would do the rest. I told 3 people I had a video from the party that proved Drew threw the kid through the window.